Welcome to Chatting with Entrepreneurs. Welcome to Chatting with Entrepreneurs. I am your host, Carla Holland, the Executive Director of the Institute for Small Business. The Institute has 5 federal state-funded programs that provide no-cost consulting services, training, market research, and manufacturing assistance. We have the Small Business Development Center, we have the Apex Accelerator, we have the Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center, we have the Rural Business Opportunity Program, and we just added sustainable and resilient businesses that are targeting small businesses that have been impacted by disasters, natural disasters. But today, we are chatting with Belem Patton, who is the owner proprietor of Aerial Atmosphere Fitness Center located in Lubbock, Texas. Hello, Belem.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Thank you so much for making the time to sit with us and talk a little bit about your entrepreneurship journey. So before we get into the business, what do you want to share about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Belem Patton. I was a sole proprietor for 17 years. I had my own massage practice before I was doing this. I feel like I started doing aerials myself just when I was looking for a fun way to add movement back into my life after my second daughter was born. And as soon as I saw it, I immediately gravitated towards it, and I was like, what is this and how do I sign up? And I'm the kind of person that gets bored with your usual gym environment, and if I dread going to the gym, I'm not going to go. And so I wanted to move, but I wanted it to be fun, and this looked like a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun.
Belem hit on a couple things that I wanted to touch on. I'm similar to you. I don't like doing the same thing all the time. I need variety. And so being here at your fitness center has inspired me to kind of think about other things. So you explained to us how you gravitated to this, but tell us a little bit about your journey and how you started the center.
Okay, so I actually purchased the studio from the previous owner.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so when I was doing my sole proprietorship as with my massage practice, I was at a women's health expo, and it was around Mother's Day, and I was actively looking to gift myself some kind of movement. And so I met the previous owner there. I was a student of hers for about 4 years, and they went back to school and got a degree, or are working on getting a degree in psychology and kind of going in a different direction. And so I purchased the business in the very beginning of last year.
Okay.
And this is now, I'm going into my second year of owning the business, and I feel like I didn't come from a fitness background.
Okay.
And so it was very new to me and very scary, but I absolutely love how aerials not just gives you a good form of exercise, but it becomes a creative outlet. It becomes a second home for a lot of our women and girls that attend classes here, and the community is just so supportive, and it's so hard to find that, especially as a grown-up. It's hard to not just find friends, but just find your people. And once I started taking classes here, that's when I found my people, and we all come from different backgrounds, different walks of life, but we can all come together for this one common hobby, and it just turns into this, it morphs into this life-altering, it improves your mental health, it helps with so many things that I felt like I just really needed to keep it going and expose it to more people. I feel like I'm really helping women in a different way than I originally set out to help, and it speaks to me, it speaks to a lot of people, and I think once you actually try it, you'll find that you are having to battle your own limiting beliefs You're having to overcome challenges that you never thought that you would be trying to overcome. You're putting your body in positions that you are not used to putting your body into. And with that comes a lot of fear and pushing past those fears. And I can see the wheels turning in every class. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. And then they try it and they're like, oh my God, I did it. And that is why we need to bring aerial.
Belem, you have said a mouthful. We keep talking about the name of your business is Aerial Atmosphere Fitness Center. But what is it? Put it in language where our listeners will be able to say, oh, I got to do push-ups or I have to do this. What kind of fitness? You stated the benefits, which is most important, but help them understand what is it that you do.
So we provide group aerial and pole classes. We provide classes for aerial hoop, aerial silks, hammock, and also pole. We also have a kids program where we teach them silks and hoop, alternating each week between the two apparatuses. We also do private parties, so for like bachelorettes, girls' night out, divorce parties, birthday parties, and then we have the performance aspect of it where students have an opportunity once a quarter to participate in our showcase and show off all of the skills that they're learning in class. So they come for the fitness, it turns into a creative outlet and a hobby, and then they stay for the community.
I love that. I love that. You said you purchased this business from the previous owner.
Yes.
You purchased it because you gravitated to it. So it was kind of your passion. So did you finance the business? Like, help our listeners understand your steps of, okay, I want to purchase this after being a student. What was that process?
So it's owner financed, so I am paying a loan to the previous owner. And in the process of, I was looking to make a change from my massage therapy career into a more of like a wellness center, and I wanted to expand into a studio space to start offering different unique types of movement classes, belly dance, yoga, meditation, anything that's going to basically help you feel more motivated to want to move. And so when she approached me about purchasing the business, I had already received a grant from the Texas Women's University, and through that grant I needed to do business coaching through the SBDC, where I did my coaching with Ray. And I talked to him about purchasing the business. He gave me a list of due diligence, and he kind of guided me with projections and my business plan and that sort of thing. So it's owner financed. I went through with the grant, and then a lot of it is personally financed as well.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you mentioned Ray, who is a business consultant at the Small Business Development Center in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Ray is awesome. When it comes to numbers, he can help you understand your profits, your margins, how much should I charge? If I have employees, what should be their salaries? Do I give them an increase? Do I not? He's phenomenal with that. And what's most interesting about Ray is he's great with numbers, but he has a marketing degree. And usually marketing is more creative and not as analytical, but Ray is great with marketing as well. So you worked with one of the best consultants that we have here in the SBDC Lubbock Center. So do you have employees, now that I mentioned about salary? Tell me a little bit about that and the process.
So I inherited a team of instructors that was already teaching when I purchased the studio. We have grown that team, with myself included. There's 14 of us that teach a variety of different classes. And so some of them do pole and aerial instruction. Some of them are students that also teach things like yoga and belly dance. And so we have a little bit of everything.
That's awesome. Well, I want to do the belly dance. I want to do whatever fitness gets rid of my stomach. Even though, I own who I am, I love my body and I love me, there's always some rooms for improvement, and it's normally in that gut area. So when you talk about owning a business, What's your biggest challenge as you progress through the years?
The biggest challenge is not knowing what is ahead. And you have to, it never gets easier to be comfortable with not knowing what's ahead, especially if you're a planner. You can plan the best you can, but until you actually go through your first year, and the first year I think is going to be the most challenging for anybody, whether you're buying a business or starting from scratch. Just be prepared for the unexpected, be prepared for your plans to fall through, and find a tribe to help you get through those tough moments.
I love the find the tribe. It is so important to surround yourself with like-minded people. A lot of times people say, well, I talk to my spouse, but if your spouse isn't a business owner, they have a different filter, and their advice may not be as on point if you had a community of other business owners who said, hey, I had that challenge and this is what I tried.
Yes.
Or this is successes that I've had in my business. Speaking of successes, share with us a story of a high point in your business that you're very proud of.
So actually moving into this space, I was so afraid that moving us was going to cause all kinds of disastrous, just people aren't going to come, it's going to be too far, they're going to hate it, it's going to be smaller, just all of these things in my head, they're going to come. And I think just still having that support from everybody, that's really kind of changed my mindset of, you know what, maybe I can do this. Maybe things aren't going to go as badly as I think they are in my head. And I just need to try and put it out there, and it usually works out.
A lot of time, fear makes people stay in place instead of moving forward. And so you've already mentioned some of your mechanisms, but would you share also, how do you overcome that fear? Because even for someone looking to start a business, if you think back to your massage therapy business and starting out, there's always that fear, like you said, will I get clients? Will they pay the price I need them to pay?
Yes.
What happens if they're not happy? How do I handle that social media? What if somebody says something bad about me? It just, we create fears that aren't really fears. But what are your mechanisms to overcome some of those fears?
So my husband is more reasonable, and he can kind of reason with me a little bit. Sometimes I have to look at the actual numbers themselves, which I hate to do because I'm a creative person. I'm not a numbers person, but you have to learn to be a numbers person. And once I look at those things, then I'm like, okay, well, I have to kind of go this direction. And then again, having a tribe, because I still move with fear. I will still make decisions and moves and still be scared while I'm doing it. But having a tribe of people who are in a similar situation as you. I joined a Facebook group for specifically for pole and aerial studio owners.
Excellent.
And there's so much support there. I'm part of a networking group called TRG, and they're actually one of the only networking groups in Lubbock that don't have a monetary fee attached to it. We donate snacks for the Found organization once a month, and that's kind of us paying our dues. And they're all local business owners, and having that support once a week of meeting with them and sharing what we're looking for, where we need assistance, those kinds of things. It really just kind of helps you feel like you're not doing it alone, and you see other people working through things through their own fears, and so it kind of just gives you the motivation to move forward with your decisions.
Excellent, excellent. You brought up another point that you're a creative person, so you're not a numbers person. Do you do your own bookkeeping and financials and projections, or do you pay someone, or do you talk to Ray regularly to say, Ray, this is what I think, what do you think?
I have talked to Ray a couple times about numbers. Going through this cohort with People Fund, I've had to look at numbers some more. I do my own bookkeeping.
Excellent.
It's a big task that you just have to set time aside to do. And if you're the kind of person that is not going to do it at all, then definitely hire somebody to do it. And I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to get busier, and it's time for me to delegate that out as well.
Awesome, awesome. You are phenomenal. It is so important to understand your numbers. When people talk about managing a business, I always say it's through your numbers. You're
Yes.
in business to make money. And so we had another business that we talked to, and they were like, we were making a lot of money, but we were always broke because they weren't managing the money. You need to understand, if I brought in $10,000, I only need to be able to spend, let's say, $8,000 because I need to store some. But if you're not looking at it, you bring in $10,000 and you spend $12,000 and be like, I'm making a lot of money, why I don't have it? So that's so important that you, even if you don't do the actual recording yourself, that you on a monthly basis take a look at, where am I? Where do I need to grow? I want to turn now away from the numbers to what you are good, is being creative. Tell us how you market your business.
So because it was my first year purchasing a business and not having a lot of extra income to put in towards marketing, a lot of it really honestly is building relationships.
Awesome.
Authentic relationships with people in the community, with other business owners, with other organizations. That really has helped us get the word out about who we are, what we do, the fact that we exist. More so than anything else is word of mouth and just having good relationships with people in the community. We've been able to offer even more community performance opportunities for our students and our instructors. We do all of the Comic-Cons in town, Lubbock Con, West Texas Comic-Con, Hub City Comic-Con we've participated in. We recently were at First Friday Art Trail.
Awesome.
We do a lot of fundraisers and galas. I regularly donate gift certificates to people doing fundraisers. Sometimes they ask us to perform as well. And so just having those relationships with people in Lubbock really helps get our word out, and that's helped us grow more than anything.
That is awesome. I really appreciate all that you've shared. But if there was one thing you wish someone had told you prior to starting your business, what would that have been? Now that you have this experience, you're like, I wish someone would have told me that one thing.
It's a lot like having a baby. There's a postpartum period where maybe it's more so with purchasing a business and it kind of depends on the size, I think, as well. And since I went from working alone and for myself and it was just me to then having a team of people to worry about and a whole group of a community of students, it wasn't just me anymore, and that was really scary. There was a little bit of that crying over a simpler life and stressing about what's to come. But again, finding a tribe is so important. Even if you don't own a business, having a community of like-minded people is so important for everyone, whether it's through your hobby, through your church, through any kind of group that you can find. We need human connection. And regardless of what we're going through, a community of people is so important.
I appreciate that so much. Do you find that true to be because you're a woman business owner versus men not needing that tribe as much? Just what's your opinion on that?
I think it is harder when you're a woman. There is different obstacles that you have to overcome, and then even just finding healthy human relationships with other women can be difficult. And so I really love that our studio is non-competitive, and we make it to where you come in maybe expecting to not meet some nice people, but we are so welcoming and accepting, and we cheer on every little accomplishment. And I think that just makes such a huge difference, not just for women, but it's also contagious, and it makes you go out into the world and want to cheer on others and spread kindness and that kind of thing. But I know that men struggle too, because in that referral group, I can hear when they have struggles too. We just have different kinds of struggles.
And it's just different. It's not right, it's not wrong. It's just different because
issues.
We're made up different. We communicate differently. We reach out differently.
Yes.
Men, they just want to say 1 or 2 words. We can say 300 words quick, easily, so we're more
Yeah.
expressive. So you're going to be that person to our listeners. If they're looking to start a business, what's the one thing you would share with them about starting a business?
Get some help. There are
I love that.
tons of free resources out there that you can use that are not super well known about sometimes, but go to the SBDC, go to People Fund, find some kind of resource that is going to help you get started, and don't be afraid to just take that first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything and be the biggest expert in your field. You just have to start a little bit at a time, and then you'll get there.
Thank you so much. Give us the address, your location of Aerial Atmosphere Fitness Center.
Yes, so we are at 4321 Woodrow Road, inside of one of the storefronts at Affordable Storage. We're storefront number 17, and we are here 7 days a week.
And what's your website address? And is it okay if they call?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, then
yes.
share your
So,
phone number.
AerialAtmosphere.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. You can find us on Google, and our phone number is 806-241-9118. Call anytime. Text if you would rather. That's completely fine too.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. This is going to conclude our episode of Chatting with Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you look forward to hearing our next one. Thank you so much.